Machon Meir, studying Torah, Judaism, and Hebrew in a truly Zionist environment in Israel. Torah and Zionism from the heart of Jerusalem. Registration is open throughout the year.
Today is the 24th of Iyar, 5768, the 29th of May, 2008. I'm Elliot Coe, and you're watching Arutz Sheva, Israel National News. A political firestorm has been set off by the ultimatum given by Defense Minister and Labor Party Chairman Ehud Barak as parties scramble to prepare for elections and the premier refuses to step down. Here with us in the studio to provide political analysis is Yoni Kapinski. Shalom, Yoni.
Shalom.
Yoni, it seems obvious that Barak wants Omer to go. What's he waiting for? Why isn't he bringing the government down?
Well, we have to understand that Barak, he's the one who has the most to lose in almost all scenarios. If elections are held now, according to all polls, Netanyahu will most probably beat him and become the next prime minister. And there's no assurance that Barak will be Netanyahu's defense minister. If there are no elections, rather some sort of a leadership change in Kadima, that also is not so good for Barak. Because if Livni, for example, is chosen as Kadima leader and prime minister, she will be able to gain power, support, and experience, and then she may be a serious competitor against Barak when the elections come. And so Barak is trying to gain power and present himself as acting against corruption, but to actually resign and throw his hat in the ring, that might take some time and courage.
If Barak indeed takes Labor out of the coalition, what could Omer do if he wanted to still nevertheless remain in power?
The truth is that the resigning of Labor from the coalition is a serious blow against Omer, one that he might not be able to overcome without general elections. The only thing he can do is bring in the Arab parties and the Meretz party, but that will probably upset Shas and many Kadima members who will oppose the Arab parties with their obvious anti-Israel agendas joining the government of the Jewish state. Even Meretz would probably hesitate to join a coalition which includes Arab parties.
Yoni, what's your insight? What's happening now inside the Kadima party?
Well, sources in Kadima say that Omer is very much aware of the political crisis and that he is seriously considering stepping down, increasing the prospects for general elections by the end of 2008. If Omer resigns, there is a greater chance of the Knesset dispersing than there is of a transitional government taking over. The seniors in Kadima are not yet expressing anti-Omer statements, but you can hear a lot of statements like Kadima will be Kadima even after Omer, or statements like we're ready for primaries, and if the prime minister resigns, we'll know what to do.
If elections are called for, Yoni, who are the obvious winners?
According to reports, the elections are coming closer. According to these reports, senior members of the various political parties have met, trying to agree on an election date, most likely in November. Actually, if that will happen, the municipal elections scheduled for November would be postponed. According to the polls, no matter who's leading Kadima, they will lose major ground. If Omer stays in the head, they might even cease to exist. Likud will have the strongest showing. Labor will also increase slightly, but will probably not threaten the Likud's position. The other parties will probably stay the same. What will happen with the Gai Damak and the pensioners, only time will tell.
Yoni, thank you so much for that insight, and we'll have to wait and see what happens. A major prayer rally took place last night at Jerusalem's Western Wall Plaza. The participants prayed for the recovery of former Chief Sephardic Rabbi Mordechai Eliyahu Shlita, who remains hospitalized following a heart attack and stroke. Over 60 buses brought worshipers to the plaza from around the country. The former Sephardic Chief Rabbi was hospitalized on the last day of Passover last month and underwent an emergency operation. He also suffered a partial stroke a week or two ago. Yesterday morning, Sha'arei Tzedek doctors said he had miraculously recovered after being critical condition, but had suffered a relapse. He is conscious and improving slowly, but it is still too early to speculate when the revered leader can return home.
Harav Mordechai Eliyahu, God will send him refuah shlema soon. He was the chief rabbi of Israel. And even before and later, He's one of the leaders of the Jewish nation, is the Jewish state in our generation.
All of us that have come here, simple people from all over, feel that we're not only davening for Rav Mordechai Eliyahu, but for all of Am Yisrael, because all Am Yisrael needs a leader that has his heart, his shoulders, his emunah, his connection to Kodesh Baruch Hu, because Am Yisrael is in a lot of pain, and we all feel the pain of Rav Mordechai Eliyahu's illness because he's been carrying everybody's concerns and pain on his shoulders.
And during that I know him, even personally, he helps so many people privately, and the Jewish nation as a whole, it's unbelievable.
So we hope that Hashem has mercy not only on him and his family and grants him a long life and a return to full strength, not only for him and for his family, but for all of Am Yisrael.
We need sages, we need great Talmidei Chachamim to help and to bring to the Jewish nation the absolute truth of the Torah, of Ahavat Am Yisrael, the love for Eretz Yisrael, the love for our homeland, our holy country.
Rabbi Eliyahu is considered one of the leading rabbinic figures in Israel today. He served as chief rabbi of the state of Israel alongside his Ashkenazi counterpart, Rabbi Avram Shapira Zassal, who passed away a few months ago. They were rabbis together from 1983 through 1993. Under the title Embarrassment and Disgrace, the Movement for Quality in Government held a protest outside the home of Prime Minister Ehud Olmert. The members of the movement called on Olmert to resign immediately. This protest is one of the first actions against the premier that take place not in the Knesset, but in the streets. Even before the Talansky testimony, the movement demanded that the premier not hold negotiations regarding the Golan Heights, while criminal suspicions are hovering over him. The movement approached Attorney General Menachem Mazuz demanding that he act.
The Movement for Quality Government in Israel is demanding that Olmert resign from the prime ministership.
Despite the fact that Olmert hasn't been indicted in the various cases against him, it is impossible to lead the nation while preoccupied with legal issues and self-survival, they said. The Biomed Conference has been ongoing in Israel for the past few days, focusing on the country's thriving biomed and medtech industries. INN TV was there.
6,000 experts involved in caring for the nation's health gathered for the Biomed Conference, a conference promoting health industries.
The ILSI Biomed 2008 is the arena in which manufacturers, startup companies, investors, VC companies are gathering around to try to find out mutual interest within the Israeli arena.
Israel is one of the leading countries in the world in the field of academic innovations. In 2007, Israeli companies exported health-related equipment at a value of more than $5 billion.
This meeting is gathering around above 6,000 people from around the world, investors, manufacturers, startup companies, VCs, financial people, and many others. Israel became one of the most advanced countries in the world in putting together in one source infrastructure to allow young startups to grow up in a very fast and very interesting way. The chief scientist of the state of Israel is investing around $100 million per year to try to generate a lot more companies and a lot more product for the sake of the patients in the end of the day. Many multinational pharma company and biotech company are looking at Israel as a lab that will create the future products and medical instruments that will allow the patients to enjoy and benefit the future that is in front of him.
Hundreds visited from abroad to attend the event. The visitors had the opportunity to meet all the latest Israeli developments in the field. Here's one, for example.
One of our inventions is an addition to a cervical collar, which is used in trauma. What happens in trauma situations is that the medic that arrives at the scene has to stabilize the patient, the cervical spine, the neck, before he moves on to the next patient. One of the problems is that to ensure open airway, usually invasive methods are used, such as intubation, which requires very experienced personnel. Our invention is an addition to the cervical collar, which, with the aid of a simple mechanism, allows the patient, the healthcare provider, to fix the cervical spine and ensure open airway without using any invasive method. And then he can go on and treat the next patient.
So with all these technological inventions and developments, let's just hope that we don't need them and that we all stay healthy.
Stay tuned after today's broadcast for this week's Tuesday Night Live with Ari and Jeremy. That wraps up today's newscast. Join us again on Sunday for another edition. Until then, Shabbat Shalom. Have a great weekend from all of us here at Arutz Sheva, Israel National News. This is Elliot Coe. God bless.